Today, I'm excited to bust into our compost that we capped in August. This is the first compost that we've been able to leave and that we'll be able to break into. It's not the first compost we've made. There are a couple others spread in the city. They're left in the yards of terrible landlords who didn't treat us right, and we're no longer living there. We put everything in this compost: fabric, fast food containers, ice cream containers, coffee cups, books, paper, some plastic. It's clear to me from picking out the plastic that someone who used to live in our household used the compost as trash, because there were like utensils in there, which we obviously know are not compostable. We also put all food, cooked, rotten, uncooked, veggies, meat, dairy, and cat litter, cat poop, and some human poop from my son's potty, toilet paper, wipes, everything organic. And some things we found didn't break down great. There are some pieces of wood that breaks down slowly. We know it. Eggshells don't break down. They eventually become pulverized, like rocks turning into soil and whatnot, but eggshells don't break down. Don't put them under your tomatoes. They're literally doing nothing. But there were some things that we were surprised, like some books and paper, especially if there was a lot of it close together. It's not broken down yet. It's still breaking down. It's just not broken down yet. And there were some exciting things that we found as well. So I'm really excited today to dig into our first compost. And we already capped our new bigger compost for the year. And so we'll be capping compost at the end of April every year. So the following year we can break into it and use it in our garden. But it was really exciting. I learned a lot in the let's just compost everything plan. I don't actually care that things have started to grow on my compost. I personally think it's a good sign. I like the look of it. I'm not trying to manicure around my compost, but we're about to cut this out and get into it in this. Okay. All right. We will just take weeds off the top and drop them in the other compost. So let's see if being lazy and never turning and just adding everything, let's see what it did. Okay, this is a rag, hasn't composted yet. These would be synthetic fabrics, so that's a lesson learned on my part. But these things can be removed. There's some paper in here that hasn't fully gone. So it's looking like the compost with the throw everything in is not perfectly everything broken down yet. So what we will do today is we expected pieces of plastic like this. Okay, I really took a long video and I didn't love a lot of what I said. I'm still working on this video thing. So what I really wanted to make sure to make a point of is the things in the compost that have not broken down yet are wood. Wood takes a while to break down. Everybody knows this. Large clumps of paper, books, cardboard. They will take a while to break down. Shredded paper, all broken down already. Large clumps, all stuck together, they took a little while to break down. That's fine, we knew that. Synthetic fabric that I shouldn't have put in there. Partially synthetic things, which will come after this. But what did break down fully and left us with a ton of beautiful compost is poop, cat poop, and human poop. All of the weeds that we put in there, all of the food that we put in there, all of these small pieces of paper that weren't clumped together. So it was actually a really, really successful. And as we dug a little bit deeper out of the edges of the compost, we just had beautiful, wonderful soil. And that's what we ended up putting in the garden. I put a pair of underwear in there, and these were not see-through mesh underwear. This means that the compost friends successfully ate everything edible in here and left the base of my underwear.
So yeah, that's cool. We're gonna rinse this off and recycle this part. Okay, so here's something I found in my Compost Everything pile that I'm really excited about. This is a cup from maybe Dairy Queen. So a lot of people will tell you that the boxes that your frozen food comes in and your cups aren't compostable because they're lined in plastic, and they're only half right. They're obviously compostable. It ate all of the paper and left the little bit of plastic. So here's a couple things about that. One, industrial compost agencies could put this stuff in there, and then as they screen it, which they do, this would screen out. And then the first step to recycling plastic is a hot wash. This would be washed out. There's extruders at every plastic plant that extrude this out for this to be recyclable. One. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and bury it in your garden anyway. Plastic will break down. It will. It will just take a very long time, or perhaps your compost might end up being like the magical compost in Japan, where they found an enzyme that breaks down plastic. They're currently working to industrialize that enzyme. So, can you compost your fast food wrappers and cups? Yes, you can. And there is a beautiful bed. We did the compost, then we did the mulch. We are not going to do hay on top of it because seeds will go in there. So I want the seeds to sprout a little bit and become plants. Then we'll put hay over top. But it's looking amazing. One more bed to build here. I don't know if you got all the way to the end of this video. I felt like I could have done a better job, and I was a little disorganized in how I described it. But this was our bury everything, never turn the compost, and that's what we got, and I'm pretty happy with it. Not happy with this video though, but hey, I'm still working on it.